We're also not in frame anymore. That's cool.
Yeah, you guys did move.
I'm just gonna let the cat out because she's eyeing up cake.
Okay, we're good. I believe we're good.
Yay!
Let me make sure. Can y'all see us? And hear us, I hope.
Well, I mean, from my end, I've got frames up. We've dropped some, but
Okay, yeah, they can see us now. We're good. Yeah, it was probably a server issue. Yeah, I think Elliot's just yelling at Sandy where Claudia has gone. But Claudia, as you're running into the woods, after June, you're not really keeping up with June. I mean, she's running pretty fast as a word.
Yeah,
I mean,
she is.
yeah, I bet she is. But I think that you are, able to at least know the general direction of where she's going. Sandy, Elliot's yelling at you. Where's she going? Sandy.
Sorry, I could just imagine. I could still get this sorted.
No, I'm sorry.
What now?
Elliot's just yelling at you, like, "Where's Claudia going? Where's she? What's going on?"
Like Sandy's just saying, I'm gonna go get her, and she's gonna run off after Claudia.
You both just left Elliot there, just standing with keys in his hand, and you just hear like this frail, "Okay," in the back as you're running after Claudia, who's running after June. Elvis, there's just a line of people running after this wolf. Elvis, this is a painful situation. This is some of the most exorbitant pain you've been in your life. Your joints are cracking and you can hear it in your head. You can feel the tendons in your body on fire, burning as you're running through the woods. You can feel these new pains in places you didn't know were even in your body, and probably weren't, because as a wolf, your body has sort of grown and extended in ways that you're not familiar with. What are you doing? Are you running with a pack? Are you running on your own? How are you handling this as you're in the
now in my head I speak normal, okay, so I'm not gonna do the growly voice up down here.
I was hoping so.
But you're saying it's like a fire in my body? Well, only way to put out a fire is with water, so I'm gonna run towards that bridge thing out here, and I'm gonna go jump in the water.
Okay. Yeah, I think as you continue to run, and as you're doing so, Elvis, you see a familiar face that you're running by it, but it's enough to stop you and pause for just a split second, enough that if you wanted to stop, you could, because you notice it's Quinn walking through these woods alone.
Yeah, I don't think I'd stop. I'm out of control right now, right?
As far as you know, you haven't tested it.
Well,
and Quinn, you see this wolf. This is the closest you've come to a wolf in hearing these noises.
Well, hell,
you see this wolf run.
I mean, I gotta test it sometime, and Quinn's my friend, so what can go wrong? I'm gonna stop in front of Quinn and try and say hello.
She screams.
So, Brad, I want you to roll to keep your cool. Roll with cold. And tell me what you're afraid of. You're rolling so you don't get afraid particularly and lash out against Quinn.
That's right. I'm kind of worried. She's my friend, so I don't think I'd hurt her too bad. But I'm kind of worried that she might be a tasty snack, and not the good kind that everyone talks about in the media.
The media.
She's a snack. God damn it. Awesome. So on a 7 to 9, if you get any closer to Quinn, if you don't run away in this moment, you're going to attack her. Quinn smells very good.
Can I have a more descriptive description of very good? I mean, does she taste like a country fried steak, or
She
does she
probably
smell
smells like so one time your mom got a really good paycheck? Don't want to go any further with that. Got a really good paycheck and brought home like the top choice. Last day they were good cuts of ribeye from the local Piggly Wiggly, and that's what they smell like when she grilled them for you for like your probably your 16th birthday with a baked potato and everything.
So I'm gonna try and say, don't come any closer. You smell like grilled snacks, and I'm gonna run away. It's probably gonna come.
It sounds like a creature, some kind of weird creature, and I love it.
Quinn is like after the initial scream, she's like standing there in shock, and then run away. Is that what Scrat said?
Are you running away, Elvis?
I'm running away towards the creek.
Yeah, Elvis, you see this wolf like roar out one more time, and then they begin to run out. They begin to run away again. What are you doing, Quinn?
Quinn is just kind of standing there, like half in shock, with her hands over her mouth, and just kind of like watches him run away, and then is like, "Is that Elvis?" like to herself, and then she just kind of like keeps going, but a little faster.
I reckon my cap's probably still on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want art of it so bad.
We're also at 10 retweets, Clay.
Okay. I will roll a d4 and see who gets the good or the bad. So on my screen, that would be Quinn.
Okay.
And then I'll roll
Leprechaun.
odds for +1, evens for -1.
-1.
-1. So your next scene that you get into, it'll be -1 for any rolls you make during that scene.
Okay.
So Elvis, you're getting closer to the water because though, like logically you know it's a good distance away, but in your wolf form you can hear like the bubbling of the river, that's on the banks, all the rocks and stuff. And you smell other people there, but these are smells you don't recognize as you get closer. And it's probably it would probably take you another 45 minutes to get there. But I mean, still, even at this distance, this smell, it's all overwhelming. All your senses are like on overdrive.
And do these people also smell like grilled snacks?
No, they don't smell good, actually. One of them smells like death, and one of them smells just florally.
Do you know what? This is something that I can't usually do as a human, but I've got this sudden urge to piss on a tree nearby and then run off.
You can do it as a human.
I mean, I can, but I don't think it's socially acceptable. I'd like to mark my scent here. And then carry on running.
Okay, yeah. Does that give you a mechanical thing?
No, not at all.
Oh, I thought that might have been actual movement. That's just you.
That's just me.
That's you. Okay.
If you had a movement to that level.
Oh, am I my darkest stealth?
No, not yet.
I was gonna say, because interesting point for you, Katie. When I am my darkest self, I get the unstable thing.
Yeah, you're not your darkest self yet. That's mechanically different than just transforming into a wolf.
Okay.
In your little description, you can actually decide if you transform we've decided you have to do the full moon, but you can actually decide if you can transform at will or not. after this first transformation. Yeah.
Awesome.
But no, darkest self is triggered by like physical violence, skirting, death, things like that.
Yeah. So this is more of a warning. This is more of a warning scent, like clean your smell up. You smell bad, and then I'm gonna run away.
Oh my god. Claudia and Sandy, as you're both running after June, Claudia, you've lost sight of her, but out of nowhere, you feel this like, I guess like you feel sort of a danger sense, and I want you to roll to keep your cool because you know something's coming. And tell me what you're afraid of.
I was gonna say something, but it's very bad.
Tell me. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Let's see. What am I afraid of? I think. I don't think Claudia's afraid of the werewolves. I think she's afraid of Quinn being in danger.
Okay. Yeah, give me that. Roll that beautiful bean footage. You're gonna get a new move before the next game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So this happens, and out of nowhere, Claudia, you sense something about like you just you just have those chills, something's about to happen. Everyone has that moment. And Sandy, you see this sort of in the distance. This wolf plows into you, Claudia, and you two just sort of tumble, and you land on your back with this wolf standing over, sort of going over you, and just breathing. Sorry, I got a message in Zoom chat from someone. But this wolf standing over you and just breathing heavily, and so much so that like spit is sort of dribbling down.
So if Sandy sees this, she will literally, if there's the nearest like stick or something for in the woods, she'll grab it and just keep running and just crack this.
Yes. Roll volatile to lash out physically. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna use a nat 20 or the equivalent.
Okay, yeah. You oh yeah, that's good. You grab like this low-hanging stick and you just clock this creature off, and they tumble back off of Claudia, and you watch, both of you do. Claudia, how are you reacting to this? We'll see that first.
I don't think Claudia has moved. I think she's just frozen on the ground.
Like Sandy, after she's like cracked this thing over, she's literally stepping over Claudia to go close to this wolf. Like, I will hit you again. Just like
You watch Sandy and Claudia. If you happen to look over, you'll both see that this creature is beginning to transform back into a human being, and you begin to see like the body begin to get smaller and smaller and smaller into a very petite form. You see this fiery red hair, and you see this sort of, you see the naked body of June there curled up in fetal position, and she's breathing heavily, and you see all these scratches, these scratches along her back, just scarred over tissue, and she's not responding. She's breathing heavily, but she's not responding. You see this huge head wound, like in the blood matting up her hair as she's laying there.
Oh, holy shit.
are you all right?
Shit.
I didn't hit you, did I?
I'm fine. Claudia's like taking off her jacket and putting it around June,
What's cool? Like, it's just, like Sandy stood there with this stick. Like, are you okay? Like, did she hurt you or anything?
No, I don't think she did. Claudia's like patting herself down. She looks up and she goes, "You should play baseball."
I always wanted to play baseball.
And Claudia's gonna look back down at June. Is she like bleeding out, or is it just kind of like, what's going on there? She dying, from what I can tell.
She's bleeding out. This is a head wound. But you can tell that it is more of a superficial head wound. Head wounds just bleed a lot. It's not in a space that looks, I mean, she might have a little concussion when she wakes up, but it doesn't look like it's anywhere, like the skull's not cracked or nothing. It's just like sort of a flesh wound. It's superficial. It's bleeding heavily, but both of you would know just that's what you get with head wounds. Are going to bleed heavily.
Like Sandy's like, I didn't mean to actually like hurt her. I just wanted to get her off. I mean, it looked like she was gonna eat you.
Yeah, I kind of did. Not really looking to getting eaten today.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess if she's a werewolf, it should be fine. I don't know the extent of what werewolves can and can't do, but
You hear her groan, just but
And
she's
just
not like opening her eyes.
Instinctively, Sandy puts the stick down to her again.
wait, Sandy!
I'm not gonna hit her. It's fine. I just don't want her to be really mad at me when I wake up.
Yeah, and I think Claudia's gonna kind of shake her a little bit. June.
If you're trying to wake her up, Sandy will throw the stick away.
She's opening her, they're fluttering open, and you can tell she's very disoriented as she sort of comes to. There's blood in her eyes.
Can I kind of brush the blood away and brush like her hair out of her face?
Yeah, I want you to roll to turn someone on.
Yeah.
In this situation of all times.
Wait. I have that 20, don't I?
You do. Prax gave us one.
You
I
also
would
have an
sure like
advantage.
very cheated
on
on
this
right now.
werewolf.
Okay, well, you get a string on June. And
Do I get the opposite of a string? As like around
awkwardly standing here.
I'm now awkwardly sat here, almost like a third wheel. Like, ooh, I just cracked your date over the head with a stick. I'm sorry.
You do this, and June, like you seem to come into focus in her eyes, and she sees you, and she just goes, "What are you?"
I'm Claudia. Sandy, how hard did you hit her?
No, I know who you are. And she reaches out and sort of like twirls some of your long hair in her fingers. What are you? You don't smell right.
I get that a lot.
She does.
You're
I'm not anything. I'm just a person. Are you okay?
She sort of sits up and notices that she's naked and notices a jacket's on her, but you can feel like heat radiating off her body. Sort of seems like a human radiator. And she shrugs her jacket off like she doesn't care. And she looks up at Sandy and looks at you again, Claudia. And she says, "What are you?" She seems just focused on something about you, Claudia. And she leans forward and she, sort of like she did outside of Elvis's cabin, she just has this long sniff, just inhales what you smell like. when she pulls back, she shakes her head and she goes, "Honey, you ain't human."
And Sandy looks over to like Claudia, like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I think Claudia like looks at Sandy and then back at June, like back and forth.
And you had a problem with me being dead? And you're not even human?
I swear, and she kind of pats herself down like I'm human.
She leans forward and her ear gets so close to her lips get so close to your ear, Claudia, and she just goes, "I can tell you right now, for something, I'd bet my entire life savings on it. You ain't human. And you sure smell good."
I think Claudia is hardcore, like red head to toe.
"I'd sure like to get to know what you are." She whispers that again.
I just think this is a really bad time. We're looking for my friend, remember?
"You're right, the blonde one. What's her name?" And she's sort of standing back and she's sort of like scooting back and like standing up, and she's a little wobbly on her feet, but she gets her balance.
Quinn. It's Quinn.
She nods, and you see her sort of like inhale the air. "I can smell her, but it's so faint. It's like she's here, but she's not."
Okay.
And she sniffs the air again, and without saying anything, she starts walking off walking off into the direction, just darting around trees, probably walking off north, I would say.
Yeah, I think Claudia turns around and like looks at Sandy like,
What?
Should we follow her?
Go with the crazy naked lady? I thought you wanted to go see Quinn.
She said she can smell Quinn.
Yeah, but I did knock her on the head. Or she could be luring us somewhere. Like she told us that. Well, and then she sort of thinks of her own situation. Do you know what? Fine. And I pick up the stick and I sort of just take the stick with me.
Yeah, I think Claudia kind of shrugs and is like, "You're already dead, Sandy."
Yeah. And you're not human, so let's do this.
All right.
Yeah, both of you follow after June, walking to the forest a little bit ahead of you. Quinn, you've been walking after seeing this wolf for a little while now, and though you can still hear the howls on the wind, you realize very quickly you've been walking in circles because you circled back around to this meadow after no time.
Yikes. Okay. Quinn is going to stand there for a second, like look around the meadow and see if it has like glowy stuff going on. Like it was
just the moonlight shining
okay.
down.
After she like recognizes that nothing like super weird is happening, she's going to I don't know.
I think at this time though, you sort of hear this whispering around the tree line though.
Okay, is it an ominous whispering or a...
It sounds like two people talking, arguing actually back and forth.
Okay. She is going to kind of try to find the source of the voices, but like hide.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to also roll to keep your cool, roll cold, and tell me what you're afraid of. You know, you're acting despite fear.
Okay. I am afraid of... Right now, honestly, probably being found by my sister or Francis at this point because I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Roll cold. Ooh, mark experience.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a 1. Yeah, so this has been another Monster Heart game of fails, just like last week. You creep along this foliage that lines the trees, and you hear the voices getting closer, and you can hear your name come up a couple of times. But right as you do, you sort of lose your footing and stumble into this like large bush, and it makes a lot of noise, and you just hear, shh, shh. What was that? What was that? And after a moment, as you're there, are you trying to stay silent as you've stumbled into these bushes? You're trying to continue to hide?
Yeah, try to continue to hide and kind of try to mute my breathing a little bit.
As you're doing that, you hear someone begin to sort of ruffle through the bushes, through the foliage, and you see your sister and Francis Abrams there. And Chloe just looks at you and goes, What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're not... She looks at you and she looks at Francis, and you can tell, knowing your sister, she's scared. Francis doesn't look scared at all. He looks cool as a cucumber. Your sister looks terrified.
Okay.
And she like reaches out a hand to try to help pull you up.
Quinn is going to, without taking her hand, stand up on her own and kind of like stumble away. Like kind of try to back up.
Yeah. She looks over at Francis and she just says, just wait a minute. And she slowly approaches you with her hands out, and you see her mouth, just trust me. She's just saying, just trust me. And she goes forward to you and she says, why are you still out here?
I woke up here. I woke up in this meadow.
God damn it didn't work. Francis, you promised it would work. And she looks over her shoulder back at him, and he sort of shrugs nonchalantly.
When she looks away, Quinn is just gonna turn and like run into the woods.
Oh yeah, roll volatile to run away.
Okay. Do I still have a -1?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just till the end of we switch back to someone else and you'll be good.
Okay. Sure.
Mark experience, that's a 6.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You try to go to run away, but Chloe like turns back to you right in the moment, and she reaches out and grabs your wrist and like stops you. Quinn, you can't. No, don't run yet. I'm sorry.
And Quinn is just going to kind of like, she doesn't see any way out of this situation, so she's just going to kind of move like she's going to go along with Chloe for now, but she's like watching and listening to everything they say and do.
Mm-hmm. You see Francis sort of turn as if he's just disinterested with this whole situation. And he begins to move away a little bit, but it gives Chloe a chance to look at you, and she sort of whispers, it keeps her voice low. She says, why didn't you go with the pixies? They're trying to save you.
Wait, what? I didn't know what to do.
Did they not tell you to come with them? They were trying to take you back to your home, Quinn.
I didn't even know what was going on. I woke up and these things were telling me to go with them, and I didn't want to just run off. Like, there's stuff going on here. I didn't know anything.
There's so much that you don't know because Mom and Dad... She pulls you out into the meadow, and you can tell she's sort of like disgruntled. She's not happy at all. And she looks around and she just calls out, Francis, Francis, where are you? And there's no answer. Francis has walked off and she just goes, God damn it. And she looks at you and hold on just a minute. Okay. Yeah, Dingo, you may roll that right now. Give me just one moment, Meg.
Oh, you're fine.
Can I use my strings on Quinn?
Yeah, how are you going to use it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just to add to my roll.
Yeah, you can use it to add to your roll, yeah. Okay. You are completely there. You are completely hidden, and you are hearing all of this. I think you stumble ahead. I'll be right back to Quinn. I think, Claudia, you, as you're walking, following behind June, and Sandy's behind you as well, I think you sort of, the three of you maybe don't split up, but you keep a far enough berth with each other that you're looking in different places. And you get to this tree line, Claudia, and you see and hear Quinn and her sister there. And your sister, Quinn, Chloe, says, listen, Mom and Dad, when I was little, I was sick. Quinn, you won't remember it. I was on death's door. And they made a deal to give you away. If they had another child, they'd give you to the fairies, which, that sounds bad. Yeah, I know. And it was bad. But then I made some mistakes when I got older. And I also might have promised you to someone else. But if you go to the fairies, if you go to Radia, you'll be fine. What I did won't hurt you.
But all of this is so new. Like, I've only known this for maybe like an hour, and I have a life here. And Quinn gets kind of like flustered and is like, who is this guy? Like, what does he want? Like, what's this, a demon? Like, what is happening here?
She hangs her head and looks at the ground. Me and Francis and our friends. The girl you said you knew, Sandy?
Yes.
We summoned something in school years ago. A demon. We named it, we tried to control it, but we weren't powerful enough. We messed with things we didn't know. And when he killed Sandy, we knew that it was serious. So I said that when you were ready, he could take you, and I think he thinks you're ready. But if you go with the fairies with the Fae Court, you'll be fine. Nothing, they can protect you, and my sister will be alive, even though I won't get to see her.
There has to be something else we can do. Like, we have to be able to get rid of this demon because it is hurting people. Like, is this what's been happening? Is this like the people dying lately? Is this what's going on?
Before she can even respond and nod, you feel the presence of Francis sort of creep up behind you. And you hear him say, "What are you telling her, Chloe? You can't be giving away all our secrets now, can you?" And Chloe, you see that fear appear again in her eyes as she looks over your shoulder at Francis. And she says, "I'm just telling her what she needs to know. Look, Quinn, I'm sorry, but we did something wrong." And Francis just laughs deep in in the back of his throat. "We didn't do anything wrong. We wanted power, and we got it. And there are prices that need to be paid. It seems your sister was trying to get out of paying those prices. And I thought I'd entertain her silly little notion, but apparently it's not enough. It's not like you can keep her from the demon getting her, Chloe. You should have learned that. And Quinn, you can see Chloe, her eyes tearing up as she's sort of realizing.
So let's see. Quinn is, I guess, gonna try to, I don't know, like, she's gonna try to get away again, but first she's gonna try to, like, knock Francis off balance or something, like push him away, maybe.
Do you want to do that in a way that causes harm?
Not necessarily. She's just trying to throw him off so that she has time to, like, get away.
Oh, yeah. I was just trying to decide if it would be lash out physically or run away. Just roll volatile again to run away.
Is he trying to like grab her?
He hasn't made a move to grab her. It's just standing. He's like behind her, then it's Quinn, then it's Chloe. And like Quinn's back is to Francis, Chloe's facing the both of them.
Okay. So here, give me a second. Work this time, please. Partial. Okay. Yeah.
You get to choose one. You do. Oh wait. Yeah, you get away, but you get to choose one. You run into something worse, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind.
I guess cause a scene. I don't know what that would entail, but
so yeah, you manage to. Chloe opens her mouth to speak, and I think you see an exit, like a way to, as their attention is on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you dart toward the side, and not knowing that she's there, I think you run straight into Claudia.
Okay.
Like just bam, right into her. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I think we'll hop over to Elvis real quick. Elvis, you still heading toward the river?
Hell yeah.
You're running
out this far.
You're running, Elvis. And you reach the river. And those smells are stronger here, but you can't place them particularly. That one of death and that one of flowers. But as soon as you get close to the water, it's almost like those smells just disappear, as if they're washed away with the water. Are you getting in the water? What are you doing?
I'm taking a run and jump, and I'm diving as deep into the center of that river as I can.
Awesome. Yeah, you do so. You run straight into this water. I think you might even go up on the bridge and jump down. Would that be something you'd want to do?
Yeah, sure. I want to get in the middle.
Yeah, it's not that. It's a tall bridge, but I mean, it's just for like little commercial boats to go under, so it's not like a huge bridge.
Yeah, it sounds
and
perfect.
You jump into the water. It doesn't end that, that fire inside of you though.
Now, with this wolf form, do I gain the ability to swim?
Yeah, you can swim.
Awesome. Because I don't do that too good as a human.
It's a doggy paddle.
Yeah, so I'll just sort of like sit in the water and be like, well, the fire don't seem to be going out.
Yeah, this is a new feeling for you.
Maybe if I drink some.
You drink the water. I mean, you're lapping it up with your wolf tongue. And I think out of the corner of your eye, you see movement coming from a good distance across, but on the bank of the water. And I think those smells go strong again.
The good smells or the bad smells?
The bad smells.
Right, okay, I've had enough of these bad smells hunting me. I'm I'm gonna go and hunt them. That's how you do this thing.
Okay. Let me see. Do you have a move to hunt? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, you're good.
I have a move for violence.
Yeah. Are you getting out of the water?
Yeah, I'll get out of the water. I'll sort of like sneak up somewhere into the undergrowth. I'm gonna try out my sneaking skills.
Yeah, then I think you're able to do that with no problem. And as you sort of head along the bank and follow the water, there's just a figure sitting there. Their body is very frail and it looks weak and it's very pale underneath the moonlight. And they don't seem to notice you at all. Like if they haven't acknowledged your presence. They're just sitting there on the bank of this river with their knees pulled up to their chest. And you notice all these hashtags on their body. Sort of similar to the ones that people have been seeing they saw on these bodies that June had told you about.
Hashtag PTRPG, hashtag.
Exactly.
Okay.
They have all these
I'm serious. Are they actually like words,
No.
or are they just cross hash?
They're not. No, they're cross hashes. They're
Okay,
like
okay.
sort of like tally marks.
But I'm gonna try and listen.
As you try and listen, they're not saying anything, but Elvis, you can't hear them breathing.
Do they seem natural to me?
This looks like a human, but they are unnaturally still, and you don't hear a heartbeat. You don't hear breathing. You don't feel any warmth of them, which is something you all felt. You felt that completely when you had encountered Quinn. If anything, this is similar to what you feel when you're around Sandy. There's just sort of nothing there.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not so bad. If
They
it's
haven't noticed you. They've not looked at you or anything.
Well, I think it's about time that I tested out my control over this form, so I'm gonna walk up and just stand at the side, because I've realised at this point that I can't talk, so I'm just gonna stand there.
They look up at you, Elvis, and you realize now, as you're getting closer, that this is someone that you know. This is someone who works with your mother out at the motel. She's a maid from the motel. You can't really quite place her name. You think it maybe starts with an L, but she just looks at you. Her hair is stringy. She looks weak and just, if someone could exude sadness, you would feel that. And she looks at you and says very simply, "Where am I?"
I'm just gonna growl at her, I guess.
Are you meaning to say something, though, in that growl? Are you meaning to answer her?
Yes, I'm meaning to ask, you dead? You dead?
There's the hashtag war cry. You dead?
You dead? You dead, though? You dead, though? She seems to understand you, Elvis, and she raises an eyebrow and sort of shakes her head, and she says, "I don't know."
I sort of like growl and snuff. Meaning you smell shit.
This little sort of smirk comes on her face. And the wind begins to blow, Elvis, and you see as her form sort of dissipates in front of you. And she disappears.
Cool. Were they sitting next to a fire?
They were out. Oh, you mean earlier?
No, I mean like now. Are they sitting with anything? Have I just gained some of their stuff?
No, they were just sitting here in like old. They looked like they were in old clothes. They just had their knees up their chest. They were on the bank of the river.
I'm just
They
gonna
didn't.
walk
They
up
didn't
and
have anything. Yeah.
put my hand where they were, see if there's anything.
You don't feel anything. You feel this cold spot compared to the rest of the area.
I'm gonna mark it.
Oh my god. Sandy, what are you doing?
Sandy, so how close am I behind Claudia?
I would say about probably a couple of feet, close enough that when she does disappear, you do notice that she's sort of gone off into her own direction.
Yeah, she will immediately dart in the same direction as Claudia. Will have like the stick out and ready, and will literally just tear through. Until she...
I think as you see Quinn running straight into Claudia.
And I sort of run up to both of them. I still have the stick handy, like, okay, we got her. Can we go now?
Yeah, I think Claudia kind of sits up and goes, "Oh my God, Quinn, are you okay? Are you all right?"
Quinn, like, she's on the ground and then she's like back on her feet and like grabbing Claudia and like beckoning to Sandy, like, let's go now. And she just starts
Yep. No, I like that. And like Sandy will grab her in return and just start dragging them both back in the direction they came.
As you do, you hear, "Hey, where y'all go?" "Oh, thank God you found her." And June sort of walks back toward y'all jogging. And Quinn, you notice that June is naked with no clothes on.
I point my stick at June.
Puts her hands up and she says, "Thank God you're all right. Quinn, did he get to you tonight?"
No, they did not get to me. I don't know what the pixies. Like, you guys have like a deal with them? Like, what's going on there?
June,
Okay, what?
June's looking at all three of you and then looks at Quinn and just goes, "Oh shit. We need to go back to the park. I need to get some damn clothes."
We do. We need to get out of the woods.
Yeah, clothes.
Freaking
Yeah.
answer.
Sounds good.
I'll tell you what I can.
Okay.
And he begins to jog back in the direction toward the trailer park.
Yeah, I think Claudia kind of is looking at Quinn and Sandy and then heads in the same direction.
She'll do the same, but while she's she's just like, Quinn, pixies? What?
They were these little like balls of light. I don't know. They protected me from like, I don't know, a demon. I don't know what's going on anymore. And she's just kind of like running ahead.
And like it's like Sandy stops briefly, so it's like dead, not human, pixies. Well, okay, I just run after you all.
You guys make it back to the trailer park, and June leads you to sort of this central trailer in the middle of the circle. And I mean, it's still abandoned. Elliot hasn't made their way back here. You assume Elliot's probably waiting in the car. But she leads you all inside, and it's a nice little space. You can tell immediately that it's just her that lives here. I mean, it's sort of a one bedroom, open kitchen, living room planned out floor. It's a very small, homey kind of place. It sort of smells like cinnamon and apple. It's a very nice place. And she says, you three make yourself at home. I'm gonna go clean up a little bit and take care of this. And she sort of, rubs her head. And she walks off toward the back of the back of the house. And like on bookcases are various pictures of her with people you had seen at the party littered about, big group pictures, one-on-one pictures. there's books that line these bookshelves of subjects that are very interesting. There's subjects of occultism, of witchcraft. There's subjects on fae and on demons. There's just a big, just things you wouldn't expect. And there's a couple of there's two couches and enough room for you to make yourself at home if you wanted to while she's getting changed.
Sandy's just going to look around, sort of put the stick under the table if she's taking a seat, but she's not going to let go of it.
I think Claudia actually stands awkwardly for a moment and then follows June to where she's going.
Okay. And June hasn't closed the door. You see her step out of the bathroom, like the ensuite in her room, and you see her like with a dish rag washing her face off, and she like goes to the closet that's across the room and opens it, but she catches like sight of you, and she just nods and says, "You need to talk about something?"
Yeah, I think she kind of hesitantly opens up the door and kind of, I don't know, does she have like a chair in here or like a bed?
She has her
or...
bed in here. You could sit on the edge of the bed if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think she sits down on the edge of the bed, and she keeps her eyes down. She's just looking down at the floor. I just thought maybe you could elaborate on what you mean by not human.
She laughs and is pulling out a pair of jeans and this sweater and pulling them on. And she shrugs. I don't really know. You're not a wolf. And you don't smell like anything I've smelled before. You're not a human.
Okay, so what if
she nods her head toward the living room. She says, that one in there ain't either. One of them's dead. I don't know what the other one is.
From what I can gather, she's some kind of fairy?
I mean, it makes sense. We were asked to make sure she was okay if she ever wandered out here, and I guess we might be doing a bad job. I wondered why the court wanted to protect her so much. But we owe them. Okay? He should be fine. As long as he stays away from any humans his first time, it's usually okay. You learn how to control it. I think she sits down beside you. And she says, look, I don't know you, Claudia, but you seem okay with all of this weird stuff.
I don't know. It just seems like life is finally not boring.
Yeah, that'll happen when things come out of nowhere like this. Have you never felt not normal? I was born a werewolf, so I've always felt different.
I mean, I feel not normal all the time, but not in like I'm shape-shifting into a wolf kind of way. Just like I don't know how to talk to people kind of way.
Yeah, I sort of get that. You're a little awkward. But it's endearing.
Thanks.
I think she sort of touches your hair a little bit again, pushes it out of your face. And she says, I'll explain everything to you and your friends, at least what I know. But I'm sorry you're getting roped all into this, I guess.
I mean, I'd rather know than not know. If you know there's something you can do about it.
I didn't say that.
June?
Yeah.
How do I know that I can trust you? I mean, I don't trust Francis, that's for sure, and you seem to be against him, but
Well, you can't know that, can you? Sometimes you just have to have faith.
not really the religious type.
Well, I don't mean religious faith. I just mean faith in people. That's the most important kind of faith you can have.
I don't know that I've ever really had that either. I try not to get my hopes up.
She pushes some hair behind your ear and sort of clears your face up so she can see it. And I think she just grabs your chin and says, "It's a really sad way to live, honey." And she stands up and walks out of the room. And she walks back into the living room with Quinn and Sandy. But she sort of lingers, waiting to see if you'll follow or not.
Yeah, I think Claudia kind of looks down and she touches her chin. And she brushes her lap and stands up and follows out.
Elvis, where are you headed?
Well, you know what? I was hoping there'd be some snacks at this party. Not that kind. And there weren't any, and now I'm out here, and I've done a lot of drinking, and I've done a lot of running, and a lot of body changing, and I'm guessing that part of this pain is coming from my stomach. And I think the best way to fix that would be to find something to eat.
Yeah, you can definitely run out into the woods, and I think you try to focus on, like, maybe the smell of a deer or a rabbit, some kind of animal.
Oh, yeah. Elvis is like 100% hunting wrong. He's hunting like a human. You know, he's like going out and he's trying to like listen and look for tracks and stuff, and it's just not working out. Like,
I think a smell of blood hits you, Elvis. And as you're sort of drawn to it to follow, you see two other wolves over this body of a deer.
oh, I'm gonna walk right up to them and just beat them out of the way. That's my wolf.
Roll to lash out physically. Roll volatile. Okay, yeah. So you have no problem. You actually a little more violent than I think you intended. I don't think you know your own strength as a wolf yet.
Yeah.
You push them out of the way, so much so that your claws hit them and it scratches them up a little bit, and you manage to get to this deer. It's been picked over a little bit, but there's still definitely, like, you could chow down if you wanted to.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm definitely thinking I should create a fire, but also definitely shoving my face in that deer and eating the hell out of it. Also, can I gain strings on 2 random wolves in the forest?
You can. I can. On a 10 with volatile, you don't get a string on them.
Primal dominance. When I harm someone, I take a string on them.
Oh, okay, yeah, awesome. Then yeah, you would gain. One of these wolves is Troy. You recognize his smell from earlier from playing.
Oh, they were werewolves. I thought they were just like normal wolves.
No, they were werewolves.
Oh, okay. Well, Troy. I have a string on Troy. Cool.
And the other one, you don't recognize them, so you could just put down werewolf. If you come across them again, I'll let you know.
Okay.
They don't seem to fight against you. I mean, this whole night, June made it sort of clear that it was about celebrating you anyway. They seem tiffed that you hurt them, but they're not fighting you. They run off into their own own way.
I'll be like 100% like the skin's primal dominance. I'm rolling with it. I'm like 100% staring them down as well until they back off. Like,
yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, you're able to get to this deer, no problem.
Yeah, when they come. Well, I guess I better make a fire.
I think as you sort of, end your meal, you look up at the moon and, it's still that yellow tint through your eyes, your canine eyes. And, but something begins to glow bright and white and light around you, Elvis. And you notice these sort of 5 lights begin to circle around you, zipping all around you quickly.
Can I try and grab one?
Every time you like try to reach out to one, it just zips away, and you hear like this giggle in your mind. And finally, they all sort of coalesce into one big one that hovers in front of your face. And it reaches out and touches your snout, and you feel this electricity burst through your body. It doesn't hurt. It's more like just being, shocked. But you feel it. It sort of gives you a jolt. And you just hear, "Silly Elvis, you can't catch us."
Can you describe how they smell to me?
You smell nothing. This is actually, for once, you smell nothing. You can still smell the blood from the deer. You smell the forest around you. But this is like a void.
So again, I'm going to try and speak. I don't know if I'm getting used to it or not yet. I reckon not. Not on my first night. I don't think there's going to be any speaking. So, like, I'll try and, like, say... I could catch you if I wanted, but it's just going to come out as, like, a low...
I want a compilation of all of Scrat's werewolf noises. The voice just says, "No, you couldn't. We're too fast for you, even in this form."
Lips curl.
Okay, calm down. We don't need to start a fight. Look, we need your help. The Fae Court's calling on you, Elvis.
Scratching my ear felt really natural for some reason.
They sort of zip around you in a circle a couple of times and head back to where they are. They were and linger there. "Elvis, we need your help. One of ours is in danger."
I'm going to flippantly tell them in growls again that Mama told me to stay away from court.
I hate you so much. Not that court, silly. Not the human court. We're different. We're not human. We're like you. We're different.
Okay, now, again growling, he's like, "God damn it, wolves have a court too!"
They sort of perch themselves on the edge of your snout. And the light is so bright in your eyes. It's sort of having to make you squint to see it. And they say, do you know someone named Quinn?"
Dog pretending it doesn't have a limp? No.
"Well, look, if you do know her, she's in danger. The bad one's going to get her, and she won't go to Father. We need her to go to Father."
Who's the bad one?
They sort of giggle around. They say, "You don't know who the bad one is? Why hasn't anyone told any of you humans anything? This is why you guys cause so much problems. You know nothing." And they zip around you again, and they say, "The bad one is the demon that was summoned. They have a name. We dare not say it."
Is it Derek?
"Not Derek."
John?
It's not John.
Elliot?
Not Elliot.
Jake?
This is going to get you nowhere, Elvis. We just need your help.
Can be George.
Nope. Look, Quinn is going to go through a lot if we don't get her to Radia. You have to tell her to come to us. You have to protect her.
Player question, could you say that name again?
Radia.
That's what I thought you said. Okay. You design these things to confuse Elvis, I swear. He just looks puzzled for a second and is like, okay.
Just protect Quinn.
I don't really know Quinn that well.
You'll be rewarded, Elvis.
See, now that sounds like a trap.
No traps. We
I
promise.
I know you put
Trust us.
you put the bait in, and then snap. It's a trap.
Elvis, we would never hurt you. We would never hurt Quinn. We want to protect her, and we're so small. We need your help. We can't do much on your plane.
How do I know that? I ain't never seen you before.
We see you all the time. We just don't make ourselves known. We're here. We're everywhere.
I don't like hurting people as is, so I will take it under advisement that Quinn may be in danger, and I will look out for her. And how that translates into wolf, I don't know. I imagine it's a combination of grunts and snuffles.
Yeah. They move off of your snout, and you see them sort of bounce up and down. That's all we ask. Just protect Quinn. Quinn is the most important right now.
Bark.
And you hear them say, "Oh, Father's calling. We have to go." And the light disappears as quick as it appeared.
I'm just gonna stand and bark at where they were for a minute. Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, you do that. What are you doing afterwards? Where are you heading to?
Can I smell anything in the forest?
It just smells like the forest. The smell of blood's a little overwhelming, though.
I guess I'll start. I mean, I'm getting bored of the woods now. Like, it's not. The hunting doesn't seem as fun as a wolf at all, you know? Like, there's no skill to it. You just find the blood and then beat up the wolves that have already killed it. I mean, it's easy, but, you know, I miss the feel of a rifle in my hands. Pause. Oh, that's pause for thought. So, I guess I'll start heading back towards civilization. Maybe there's still some beer at that party.
A wolf drinking beer. Yeah, I love it. Claudia, when you join the rest of the group, June sort of like motions toward the couch. Okay, look, I'll tell you all what I know. The wolf tribes here, the packs, we've been here since before this was even Leafside. I'm just an alpha in a long line of alphas. And they've always had a deal with the Fae court to take care of these woods. They'd let us hunt in them. They'd protect us when we hunted, and we protected them. We protected everyone that they told us to protect. And about 17 years ago, I was told to protect Quinn.
Doesn't really seem like you're doing that good of a job. No offense.
Well, she's still here, isn't she?
Fair. That's fair.
Look, they make deals. We made a deal with someone named. They referred to him as Father. I don't really know what the whole deal of that is, but everything was fine up until about 5 years ago when you died. And she looked straight at you, Sandy. You're muted.
Sandy just raises her hand like, yep.
I don't know all the details, but it involved your sister and that punk, Francis Abrams, trying to get power, and they basically sacrificed you, Sandy.
Yeah.
I never liked him.
Yeah. Chloe tried to tell me a little bit about it back in the forest before I ran away from Francis.
Wait, you were with Francis?
It's a weird story. When I was at the party, I talked to Chloe, and then Chloe walked up to me, and she I think she touched my head and I passed out. And I woke up in this meadow in the woods, and there were the little balls of light. They said they were pixies, and they wanted me to go with them to the fairy world, but they wanted me to go forever. And I said no. But they told me that I was one of them, that I was a fairy, and that a long time ago, I don't know, like my parents made a deal uh, to save Chloe's life, and somehow I was involved in that, and now I'm a fairy for some reason. And then Chloe and Francis and some other people summoned a demon, and now it's killing everybody in town, and it wants me. So I think that's what's happening.
And like Sandy's sort of like shifting her grip on this stick, just like, "Oh, Francis," like just sort of muttering to herself more than anything.
Look, you're not just now a fairy. You were always a fairy. When you were born, apparently you got whatever this touch is, this fey touch, because your parents promised you to them.
Okay. All right. That's strange, but there is a ghost in here and a werewolf and another werewolf running around somewhere who I go to school with also. So all of this is very weird, but I guess I don't know. It's been a weird night. And Quinn is just kind of very stressed out about all of this. Apparently, I've been promised as some kind of thing to this demon, and the pixies are very worried that he is going to get me.
Yeah, his name is Zenoff. And she
Great.
goes over to her bookshelf and pulls out a book it's got, sort of this Latin title of it. And she opens it up. He's a demon of hunger. And he'll eat everything. He'll consume everything. And she looks at you, Sandy. She says, y'all fucked up big time summoning him.
And Sandy stares back and says, "Did I choose to do it?"
She shrugs. I don't think you did, honestly, honey. I don't think any of them did except Francis.
Okay. Where is Francis? Like, this is Sandy asking Juno, "Where can I find Francis?" Just, out of interest.
She shrugs. I don't know. Did y'all see him in the woods?
Uh-huh.
He was in the woods, yes.
Then I don't really know.
Can't we just give Francis to the demon, or
I don't know if it works that way. They promised me to the demon, and I think Francis got some kind of power from it.
Yeah, your sister did too. They all did.
what kind of power?
I don't know. They can do strange things. They can get into your mind, make you think things you don't really think, make you see things. They can drain you of your energy. They're not good people. At least Francis isn't. No offense to your sister, Quinn.
It's fine. I think she regrets what she did now. She did try to help me get away, but no takebacks, I guess.
Deals with devils and demons, especially for kids. That's
It's messed up.
yeah, especially if you ain't got a choice. I don't think any of you did. He's here to take 100 people, and
100?
he's been here for years. And the last bodies we found, Tyler's, had 99 marks on him.
So he needs one more.
And I think that one's Quinn.
Yeah. Is there a way to make him go away? Is there some kind of, I don't know, reverse ritual we can do that doesn't involve me going away forever?
We could try killing Francis, like Sandy sort of says quite casually, and just then puts the big stick on the table.
She nods though. She says, "You have to kill who brought him. He's tied to Francis."
Ah, okay.
That's what my book says. And she opens it up to a page and slides it over on the coffee table, and you can see the reading that sort of basically explains that summoning Xenoth is sort of binding the summoner to this demon, and then the only way to rid the world of the demon is to kill the summoner.
Okay. Murder. Cool. Okay.
I mean, is it really murder if you're killing a murderer? Francis is sort of a murderer by proxy at this point, don't you think?
I think technically it is still murder if you're murdering a murderer.
Does it count if you're dead?
Well, I mean, if you
That
went to
I don't
jail,
know.
that wouldn't be that hard to get out, would it? Well, I don't really. Can you go through things? I don't know much about ghosts.
Nor do I.
Look, I don't. I think Francis is sweating because Xenoth wants this last body. He wants Quinn. And only if he gets Quinn can Francis get all the power he wants.
But then Quinn can't be left alone. She sort of just looks at everyone at the table.
I'll stay with her.
Okay.
Cool. Alright. Oh. But I don't know if I can even go home because like my sister's at home and like Francis will know where to find me. You know? Like
June,
Claudia,
June
would it
looks
be-
at you, Quinn, and she says, "If you want to stay here, you can. I can sleep on the couch."
that might be a good idea. That way I'm close to the woods in case I do need to, I don't know, run away to Radia, I guess is what they called it.
She nods. Are y'all gonna kill that boy? Because I hate to say it, we've been trying for a long time, and he's pretty slick.
Sandy stays silent. She's sort of just thinking. She's more thinking of how than anything. This is basically the person who killed her, but was supposed to be her friend. So she's running through her head how she's going to do it, or how could she do it. And it's probably a bit messed up, but you do see like a slight quirk to the side of her mouth where she smiles a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Claudia kind of sinks back into the couch. I don't really know how I feel about murder, but if it's the only way to stop it.
Put it this way. It's how I died.
How many people summoned this demon?
You remember 3 other people. You remember Chloe, you remember Francis, you did, Sandy. And then there was another girl, your age, and she had sort of mousy blonde hair, very pale, frail looking. And her name was Lily Andrews.
Will I recognize that name at all?
You
Or
just
do I-
know her as the other person who was in your little club.
Hmm.
You haven't seen or heard from Lily Andrews in years. But June shakes her head because June says, I don't know. I only knew Francis and Chloe. I didn't even know that she had anything to do with it. And she nods towards Andy.
We might want, maybe when it's light outside, we might want to try to find Chloe, because it seems like she's been trying to protect me and Francis overheard us talking, so she might be in trouble at this point.
I mean, are you sure? Are you sure that they're not working together?
Chloe tried to give me to the pixies to protect me from the demon. She tried to get me to go away so that the demon didn't get me.
It's awfully convenient that Francis was able to find you too.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not working with him, but maybe he has some way of...
That's true. I just wish I knew that she was okay.
Look, do you trust your sister?
I think after what happened tonight, I think I do. Because at first I didn't, because like she knocked me out, obviously, and then I don't know, the pixies said that she promised me to the demon, but then later I ran into Chloe and Chloe was like, no, I tried to give you to the pixies, like why didn't you go so that you could get away and you don't have to die, and I don't know. So I kind of trust her, but I guess she could still be sneaky. I don't know. Maybe if someone else finds her instead of me, so that she doesn't know where I am.
She nods. Look, you can all stay here tonight. It's fine. I think there's safety in numbers. Besides, I have to be here for when Elvis is fine in the morning, and he might want to see some friendly, familiar faces.
Oh shit! Elliot! I'll be right back. Claudia's gonna get up and like go into another room and get on her phone and call Elliot.
It picks up, the phone picks up after a couple of rings. But the voice that says hello isn't Elliot. It's the voice from before, the voice you recognize is Francis Abrams. And the voice just says, hello, Claudia.
And I think Claudia's gonna turn and walk back into the room, and she goes, "Hello, Francis."
Sandy will sit up.
Where's Elliot?
I mean, can't really say for sure. Things have changed, and what I need right now, since you all seem so desperate to protect Quinn, is gonna take something else. Maybe the demon will take another fae.
What?
What? You heard me.
You're lying.
Why would I lie when I have the upper hand?
You know it won't take anybody but Quinn.
I can try, though. And I'll keep trying until I get her. And the line goes dead.
What do you say?
He has Elliot.
Oh. What? So he can't just... We can't use him.
He said maybe the demon would take another Fae.
If the demon would take another Fae, why is he telling us?
June looks up at you and goes, wait, your friend... Oh, so there's more than... Okay. How many...
I don't know. I don't know what they are. I assume they were human. But maybe not.
You all need to get some rest.
Mm-mm.
What are you going to do, Claudia?
I'm gonna go find Elliot.
Just not on your own, you know?
We can't take Quinn out into those woods. It's too dangerous.
I'll go by myself.
Okay. You can't go by yourself.
Why not?
Can't, because there's 2 of them at least, and one of them we know is particularly dangerous. I'll go. I know Elliot doesn't like me, but what's Francis gonna do? Kill me? I think you'd be better company anyway. I'm not great. When I close my eyes, when I sleep, I'll be back in the school anyway.
I'll stay here and take care of Quinn. Make sure she's safe.
I wish I could go, but honestly, if Francis catches me, then it's over, you know?
We'll take care of him. We should find Elvis. Send him back here.
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out.
Okay. Be safe, guys.
Oh, and as she sort of looks at June, it's like, sorry.
She touches the head wound. She's like, you're just protecting your friend. It's all right. I understand.
Yep, okay. And I sort of duck out the house.
Yeah, I think Claudia follows, and on her way out, she grabs her bike. Or wait, no, I probably don't have my bike, do I?
You don't have your bike. You came here with Elliot.
Okay, she puts her hands in the pockets of her skirt, and she looks over at Sandy and says, well, I'd like to make a stop at the hardware store before we go.
I like that idea. I think we could use some things.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think you guys are able to begin to leave the park. And Elvis, as you're heading back toward the park, you know, sort of just trotting along in your wolf form, you get this scent of... They're not scents that you recognize immediately because you don't know them, but you recognize them all as having something in common, and you recognize this is sort of the same scent of the pack. And as you begin to walk, you see wolves in the distance, laying on the ground, the forest ground, and you can't hear them breathing.
I'll go and pick one up.
You go and pick one up, and if you listen carefully, the breathing's shallow, as if one of this is barely hanging on to life. And there's about 3 bodies of wolves here, and they haven't transformed back to human. They're still in their werewolf form. It's like they're in a very, very, very deep sleep.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick them all up and carry them all.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can do it. I think you can probably only carry one, because they're just about as heavy as you are.
How far can I throw these people?
I mean, a pretty good distance, I would think. What are you trying to
I
do?
think what I'll do is instead of like carrying them, I'll just like take one and toss it 5 feet, take the next one and toss it 5 feet, and just make my way back to camp by increments.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that. You're able to sort of like move their bodies a little bit, but as you're doing so, sorry, excuse me. As you're doing so, you hear this branch break behind you in the distance, and you hear, "What do you think you're doing?"
I'm taking these back to the camp. But I'm a wolf, aren't I? So.
Yep. And do you turn around to look at the voice?
Yeah, I'll turn around and look at the voice.
It's not someone you recognize. It's this man in a suit, blonde hair is slicked back. He's standing there with his hands in his pockets. He says, I really don't appreciate, I don't know what you're saying, but I don't, wolves. And he just shakes his head and steps forward. And I need you to roll to keep your cool. Elvis, because you see his hand reach out and you sort of see this, you feel the air in your lungs beginning to get thicker and thicker and thicker. And tell me what you're afraid of.
I'm afraid of becoming like the creatures I've just found.
Okay.
Do I have to keep my cool? Because like I'd quite like to snap him.
You want to lash out physically?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of ready. Someone's been fucking.
I need you to roll to keep your cool to see how you react because he's sort of got the upper hand on you.
Okay, that's totally fine. Partial success.
Okay. You can fight through this, no problem. But if you do, you can either choose to back down or go through with it. If you do, he's going to harm you before you get to him, but you will still be able to lash out when you get to him.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, you're gonna take one harm as you are sort of fighting for air in your lungs. Your lungs are, you can't get a breath. You can't take in a breath as you sort of feel your lungs constricting and your insides constricting. You see him sort of like making a fist with his hand. But you can definitely push through it. And are you going to, you're going to lash out physically at him?
Yeah, I think since he's like clearly gripping me and crushing my lungs, I'd like to grab his throat and crush his airway.
Roll with volatile.
I've got a nat 20 and an advantage.
What do you want to use?
I think I'm going to use the nat 20.
Okay. You're able to get to him and you put your paw around his neck and, squeeze very tightly. And he seems he's uncomfortable and he's taking a harm, like it's hurting him. But this sort of smirk comes to his face. And he just goes, "Oh, Elvis, you simple creature. You can try, but it's not going to work."
And he took a harm.
He did take the harm, yeah.
Awesome.
What are you doing now?
Suit guy. Now, what do I do with strings?
So strings can give you a tip someone to do what they want, do what you want, give them a condition, add 1 to your roll against them, or add 1 to the harm you deal them.
So could I use a string to like give someone the condition of like silence, like in JRPGs where they can't cast magic anymore?
That's not what conditions are. Conditions are sort of traits that people can act on. So it's not like a condition. It's a trait that you act on. So like a scaredy cat or a snob, something like that.
So I just gained a string on this guy because I harmed him, right? Primal dominance. So can I now make him scared?
Yeah, you can give him the trait scared. I don't think that he's trying to fight it, definitely. So he now has a condition scared, and if you act on that condition, any roll that you take to act like I want to do this because he's scared, you'll get a +1 to whatever you're rolling.
Okay.
He's reaching out to you again, grabbing at your paws and just going, I promise you, Elvis, you're gonna regret this. Besides, it won't take. It never takes.
He knew my name.
He did.
Okay. I said not on his first night, but hell. Elvis is going to try and force his tongue uncomfortably close to his teeth. It feels very unnatural because that's the reason dogs don't talk, because tongues don't belong near teeth. Teeth cut up meat. And he's going to try and talk and very roughly squeeze out. How do you know my name?
I think Francis understands you. And I think he says, I know everything about everyone. It's what I made a bargain for. I have so much power you can't understand.
What do you mean it won't take?
I can't die, Elvis.
Snap his neck. Snap it. Snap that shit.
I want you to roll to lash out physically. Roll volatile.
I'd like to use
And
my
you
advantage.
have that +1, and you can use your advantage, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I rolled the I claimed the advantage anyway, so I'll do it just in case we can get even higher than that. But it's gonna get even.
Oh my god! You feel the bones in your paw just snap, and you see the life in his eyes go.
Cool. I'd like to rip his calf off. There'll be some meat on there, and then carry on dragging the bodies.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. And are you taking his body with you, or are you leaving his body? What are you doing?
Oh no, I'm just gonna rip the calf off for a snack.
Okay, you definitely can do that. And you manage to get these other bodies. It takes you a good amount of time to get these other bodies back to the trailer park.
Oh.
But when you're out of the what?
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. No.
Yeah. When you're out of the woods, when alone there, we see this sort of shadow begin to engulf this body that you've left there. And you watch as it just, or the camera sees as it just sort of goes back into the ground. The whole body just dissipates into the earth as a shadow engulfs it. And I think that's where we're going to leave it tonight.
Important question before we go. How does the calf taste?
I mean, in wolf form, probably really good. It's probably it's a little does it have a lot of fat on it? What is it? A little
Lean?
not lean. It's a little chewy. Yeah, it's probably not the best thing you've ever eaten.
Awesome. This is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fully fine. That fucker better be missing a leg when he comes back. Wait, does it just evaporate from your stomach? Then I have a lot of questions.
Or do I just have, like, you know, a really easy bowel movement at some point?
Oh no!
I mean, we had to go there, didn't we?
Yeah, sure. Meg, we can start with you. Your outro. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and how you felt about the session.
Okay, so I'm Meg. You guys can find me on Twitter at Pishkeenbon, and This is the only, as usual, this is the only stream I do, but if you guys want to know more about my IRL D&D parties antics, I do have a character journal over at elfnotes.com. And this session was absolutely crazy and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Dingo, what about you? Same questions.
What were the questions?
Who you are, where we can find you, and how you felt about the session.
Right. I'm Dingo. You can find me on Twitter at Where's My Dingus. That's where I post everything that I'm doing. I'm on the Off the Table channel. I am on Pro Restarters channel. Go to my Twitter. You'll find everything. And I thought this was amazing. And I'm angry and I'm happy and it was so good. It was so freaking good.
Alice, what about you?
Yeah, I loved this session. I think I'm really glad that I managed to use a nat 20 and crack a log over, which I didn't realize was June, but took her straight out. But that was Sandy's reaction. All she saw was a werewolf jump on her friend, so went for it. I'm White Rabbit Pick. You can find me on Twitter under White Rabbit Pick. I'm a photographer when I'm not doing. I'm either playing in D&D or TTRPGs, or I'm running D&D and TTRPGs. So, yeah, awesome. Love this session.
I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace or on my Twitch at KatieFace. You can also find me on Off the Table through the week on the Greyhawk channel on Tuesdays during the day. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. That's where I post everything that I'm doing. Yeah, that's me. You're muted.
That was amazing, though. I love how done you were at the end there. That was beautiful. Reeling from that. Okay, so guys, we need a raid war cry. I saw a couple get called out in the session, but I can't remember which ones.
I wrote them down.
You wrote them all down. Awesome.
Well, I wrote two down. The two that I remember, they were both from Elvis.
Yeah.
Mama told me to stay away from court. Where I smell like grilled snacks.
Smell like grilled snacks.
There was one more. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Help us out, chat. What was the other one?
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, so chat, time to get voting. If we can find the third one, there'll be a third option. But for now, 1, Mama told me to stay away from court. 2, you smell like grilled snacks. And 3, the third one, if we can find it.
Grilled snacks was so good.
Yeah.
Whilst we're there, there's my social links. If you're not already in my Discord, get in the Discord. It's an inclusive, safe place where you can come and talk about TTRPGs. Twitter, send me a DM and I'll get you into a game. It might not be this season unless we have any dropouts, but I will get you in a game as soon as I possibly can. If I don't answer you, don't worry, do not fear. That is my way of keeping you on my radar, because if I answer you, it comes up as red, and I don't know to look at that conversation anymore, whereas if it's unanswered, I know I still need to answer you. So don't fear if I haven't answered you. YouTube, you guys can catch up on all of this series and all the other series there. What else have we got? We've got merch. Head over and check out our merch. It's lovely. You can get this lovely logo all over the place in your life. It's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing. They're making a symbol for safety and love. Next, we have a Patreon. There's some content on there. There's exclusive content and non-exclusive content. You can access the exclusive content from $1 a month, and you can check out the free content anytime you wish. There's about to be a post go up in the next 20 minutes by Archmage Derek, so be sure to check that out. Also, we have our sponsors, Bird in the Storm Publishing. All of their merch goes to charity, and they'll be bringing some content to us in the new year. And also Mageham Press, who did the last stream, Argo 37. If you managed to catch that, it's basically D&D 5e in space. So check that out. There's a free 30-page review and pre-order material there. Lastly, but most certainly not leastly, I will go and check out who is live right now.
Off the Table starting a new show tonight.
Oh,
And we're live.
Well, that sounds like a temptation. You know what? This channel is like the most underrated channel on the entire of Twitch. I hate it. It needs to be... Guys, take the hype into goddamn off the table and keep it there, would you? Like, goddamn it. Like, anger. What is the thing? You smell like... You smell...
Like grilled snacks.
There we go. Double C. There we go. There it is without the scrat hype.
Beautiful.
Here it is with the scrat hype. Let's spam it muchly. And let's head over and check out off the table. Hey! So we are full-time, guys. We stream Mondays to Thursdays, 1 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. EST. Fridays over on the Greyhawk channel at 1 p.m. EST. And also at 8 p.m. every other week. This week it's our week. The Imperials rule. We'll see you there. Catch you all later, guys. Keep on evoking emotions. Bye!